deal with airplane peanuts.
Joe Rogan comes up to me and goes, I want you to do my podcast. And then I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'd really love you whenever. I go, let's do it. I still haven't been on it.
Why don't you follow up with him?
Well, am I supposed to text Joe and go, hey, can I be on? I don't want to. So Joe was there with his wife Saturday night. He was driving away from the store, but he backs up. He sees me. He goes, what's up? I go, hi. And he goes, so, what? Why are you intimidated at me? I'm not. He's like, I heard you, somebody gave me a clip or a couple clips. And he goes, I love you. You know that, right? I think you're so funny and I love you so much. It just hasn't worked out because I don't want the rejection. So it's like, if I go,
right,
hey, can I do it? And he goes, I don't know, man. I'm busy, man. I got a lot. I mean, maybe later. I don't want that. If he said, hey, are you available Thursday, this date, fly out, do my podcast, I would 100% do it.
And that hasn't happened yet. So interesting. I have to mention, I mentioned to you before, I'm a huge fan of Bobby Lee. He should be on this podcast.
I love Bobby Lee. I saw he was on your show, too.
Yeah.
By the way, Bobby Lee's been invited to do my podcast multiple times. I'm going to have to reach out to him.
Yeah, I feel like he is so...
I might have to fly to L.A. and hold his hand and drag him on a flight.
I bet Shab could get you in. All right.
Bobby Lee is quite possibly the most requested Joe Rogan guest of all time. Well known today as one of the internet's most popular comedians, Bobby Lee has been a guest on almost every major podcast known to man, except one. The Slept King's name being absent from the Joe Rogan guest list has been driving comedy fans crazy for years, even causing some to believe that there might secretly be bad blood between the two.
I made it. I'm here. And it's just like, what a blessing. No, just let me finish this. What a blessing. Over the years, people on the internet were like, why don't you do Rogan? I was like, I don't even know how. And I'm here now, and I just feel so present, and I feel mindful. It's going to be a great one. Anyway, thanks for having me.
You're here.
You too, man.
Yeah, we talked about doing it 1,000 times.
1,000 times.
Yeah, and it never happened. And people thought we had a problem with each other or something.
No, we know. In fact, here's the deal, Joe.
Okay, Bobby.
Not only do we not have a problem with each other, right?
Right.
You've been a really big asset to me over the years.
I love you, Bobby.
So we're the opposite of trouble. We're in a family.
Yes. That's how I feel.
The story of Joe Rogan and Bobby Lee goes back many decades, starting with their time spent coming up together in the LA comedy scene during the mid-90s. As some people know, Bobby Lee technically has been a guest on the Joe Rogan Experience before, way back on episode number 76, when the show was filmed on Joe's couch, and long before it was even remotely considered to be a big deal.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Lee has joined us.
But the reason that Bobby Lee has not returned to the show in over 11 years has always been a topic of conversation amongst comedy fans online, as well as comedians themselves. Bobby Lee's relationship with Joe Rogan seems somewhat complicated from an outsider's point of view, only hearing the anxious stories Bobby tells about Joe on Tiger Belly. Even though Joe Rogan has always maintained a deep admiration and respect for Bobby Lee publicly, and apparently has also always been helpful to Bob behind the scenes.
Sometimes I go to the comedy store, yeah, Joe Rogan really hates me. And it's based on nothing.
Nothing.
It's just some sort of, in my head, building up scenarios that don't really even exist, and then I go through these torturous, moments in bed where I'm laying there, and I go into this and I just want to stop doing that. Joe Rogan comes up to me and goes, I want you to do my podcast.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'd really love you whenever. I go, let's do it.
Okay.
And I still haven't been on it.
Why don't you follow up with him?
Well, am I supposed to text Joe and go, hey, can I be on? I don't want to.
Why?
Why?
Because
he asked you.
I'm curious about
because I'll tell you why, okay? Is that people that do our podcast, I ask them.
People ask us.
Yeah, and then they follow up.
Not through me. I feel like Joe, I've known Joe for 20 years.
Yeah.
I love Joe Rogan. He's the best, okay? But he's an alpha male, okay? And I'm a coward. I literally am weak, and I'm a follower.
The tension felt by Bobby Lee seemed to be caused not only by Joe's macho personality and intimidatingly large platform, but also may stem from past interactions with Joe Rogan that constantly replay in Bobby's head. Specifically, an incident that took place at the Comedy Store almost 20 years ago related to Joe Rogan calling out Carlos Mencia and the following aftermath that included Brian Redband releasing a video of Bobby Lee admitting that Carlos stole jokes, which in turn caused a load of issues between Bobby and his then mentor, Ned.
But he also, I was associated with Mencia back in the day because of the video that came out, because I used to open for Mencia a lot. During that time, it was very uncomfortable with me and Rogan and that group of guys, you know, Red Band and whoever. And so I kind of built from the ground up a relationship with them over fucking 15 years. And now I feel like I've gained the respect of, you know, comics and whatnot.
Red Band releasing the Bobby video was major drama at the time because of the terrible position it pinned Bobby in between Mencia and Rogan. But Bobby did speak directly into a camera, so it's kind of hard to really blame Red Band for that one. There are countless more stories that Bobby has told about minor interactions with Joe Rogan that undoubtedly play into Bobby's built-up angst, including jokes made about Bobby's high school wrestling background.
But Joe Rogan,
Yes.
one time came to me when he lived in LA, this is years ago, and he said, "You're a liar.
Yeah.
You've never grappled."
Yep.
And I go, "Yes, I did. You're a fucking liar. No, you didn't." And at that time, I didn't have any photos to prove it. But if you look at my Instagram, I have photos.
As well as one of the first times Bobby Lee went up at the Comedy Store.
Mencia goes, "Hey, dude, you come up and do, you know, come to LA, bro." So I went up there on a Saturday night, and Mitzi saw me there. And I was hanging out with Carlos in the main room, green room. And Carlos goes, "Hey, Mitzi, put him up," right?
You're a new comic.
I'm new.
Yeah.
And Mitzi goes, "Yeah, you go up." And Joe Rogan's there. And Joe Rogan goes, "Mitzi, he's from fucking San Diego. He's not funny." Or something like that. Right? He's not fucking funny. Right?
Yeah.
"He'll be fine." That's what she said. I went up there. Not only did I not hear any laughs, I hear Rogan in the back going, "I fucking told you he's not funny. He's not fucking funny, Mitzi. He's from La Jolla."
But despite these old stories, Joe Rogan has always made it clear that he not only loves Bobby Lee, but that he's welcome on the show literally any time, which is something Bobby's known for years now, but for some reason has never acted on.
So Joe was there with his wife Saturday night, and he was driving away from the store, but then he backs up. He sees me. He gets out of his car. He goes, "What's up, fucker?" I go, "Hi." So I go, "Hi." And he goes, "So, what? Why are you intimidated at me?" I go, "I'm not." Because of that. What? I'm not beef. No, I go, "No, I'm not." He's like, I heard you, you know, somebody gave me a clip or a couple clips. And he goes, "I love you. You know that, right? I fucking think you're so funny and I love you so much." And then, you know what I realized what it was? It's a Korean thing. And I'm going to say this, I think that's what it is. Because in the Korean culture, your elders, you have to respect them. When I respect somebody like that, I don't want to be intrusive. Because when he shows up, comics just crowd around him, right? And he plays, you know, and I just don't, I say hi, a hug, I get out. You know, by him saying that was so gracious. It really was really gracious. He's like, "I want you on the show. When can you do it? This and that." So I'm going to do it. And I'm now really confident about doing it. I think I know now that I can do it.
Another reason Bobby Lee historically provided for not going on JRE was simply that he's been waiting for something extra special to promote.
I want to use it for like a real important thing. Like, you know, if I have something really big to promote and I'm really, you know what I mean?
I bet Shab could get you in. All right.
Which is a theory that he even explained to Joe in this next clip, while also soft launching some pretty big news that is quite honestly the main talking point of this entire episode.
You're a very good comic.
Yeah. And I also want to tell you the reason why I didn't want to do this now is because I'm doing a special and I want to promote it.
Okay.
And I thought maybe I could only do it once every 5 years, but then your people said that I could do it when I...
You could do this anytime you want.
Okay, yeah. I feel that now.
You have my number.
I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
anytime
do it.
you want to. I love
it's
you.
It's gonna be great.
Listen, I love you.
I love you too.
If you thought the internet went crazy for Bobby Lee's first Rogan episode, just wait till his debut stand-up special drops. His fans have been waiting for a special for decades now, and it's gonna be interesting to see which streaming platform buys this project, or if it gets released on YouTube. As well as the actual jokes themselves and all the podcast promotion that comes with releasing a special, Bobby Lee's on the verge of reaching all new heights in his stand-up career with the release of A Killer Hour. Although there is an argument for his current mysterious approach of making the people come see you live.
There's no legacy.
Yes, there
is no legacy. Look, let me see something. Who was one of the best comics that died in the last 10 years? Patrice, right?
Yeah.
None of the kids know him.
That's not true.
That's not true.
They don't.
Well,
You're
if
naming
you
someone
have no hours out, maybe there's no legacy.
Uh-oh, that's a shot.
No. I'm just
Why
saying.
didn't you look at me when you said it? You looked at him.
Can I tell you that? I noticed that too.
Yeah. Why did you look at him and not me?
You took the shot
Look
at
at
Bobby.
me.
but
Look
you
at me and say it.
Yeah, take the shot if you're gonna take the shot, dude.
Take the shot.
You gonna shoot a guy in the back?
Yeah. That's what you did.
No, you
look
shoot him.
Go
You
ahead.
know what he did, dude? He sucker punched you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
He
was.
walked up to
he
me.
He looked at you.
Boom, and punched you without even. Just say it, you fucking
Go say
coward.
it. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying the legacy thing. You know that
You have to put.
Dude, he's getting red. I love it.
Bro.
I love how red he's getting.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Slow down.
You have to put something out there to get a legacy.
I know what I'm saying though is that I know so many great comics that have died, right?
Yeah.
Sure, Greg
and
Giraldo,
there's no
Patricia.
legacy.
Okay, but what he's saying is, if you built up something,
No one has it in this day and age. There's in 100 years, future people are going to go, "Oh, look at Caligula by Anthony Jeselnik." They're not going to say that.
someone might.
One guy, who gives a fuck? You're dead.
No, but he's not saying it for
All right,
himself.
Bobby.
He's saying it for
Bobby,
the sake of
take the legacy thing out.
Yeah.
As fans of yours.
Yeah.
If you
Come see me live.
But
That's the Jay Leno theory. That's what he says.
Yeah, come see me live.
He's not going to put out hours because he says, just come see me live until I don't do it anymore.
Really? That's his whole thing?
He did an interview with Rolling Stone or something like that where they were saying, hey, how come you don't put out specials like everyone in your generation is doing now? Like Romano put out one, and he was like, just come see me live. You want to see comedy? Come see me live.
It is pretty rare nowadays for a comedian this established and famous to be making their first modern-day Rogan appearance, which is really a testament to Bobby for becoming this large in the podcast space without ever truly receiving the Rogan bump that most of the dominant podcasters and comics have experienced at one point or another. Going on a podcast that averages 190 million audio downloads per month paired with 16 million YouTube subscribers has to give even Bobby Lee a huge boost in exposure. Overall, this episode was everything you'd expect it to be, with topics ranging from old comedy stories from back in the day to Joe Rogan trying to sell Bobby on Austin, Texas.
You have to understand what you guys did.
What did we do?
You guys took half of the talent out.
Yeah.
So I was just butthurt.
We brought another bunch in too. Like Shane Gillis lives here.
I know he does.
We're doing
now.
great.
I know you guys are killing it.
We're having
I went to the
so
club
much
last
fun.
night.
Come move here.
I know,
It's-
but
you're more than Paulie's thinking about it. Paulie's here a lot.
I know. And
Paulie
then
was just here the
Theo's
other day.
thinking
He's
about
killing
it.
Theo's thinking about
Right.
it. Yeah. They're all just worried that like people go, oh, you moved there to suck on Rogan's nuts.
I would never suck your nuts.
I don't ask.
I wouldn't do it.
If you did, it would be a problem.
Yeah.
I'd be like, why are you doing this? I'd have to be asleep.
Would you hurt me?
No.
Oh, we were camping.
If I woke up and you were sucking my nuts, I wouldn't hurt you.
What?
I would yell at you. I wouldn't
Like
hurt
what?
you.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
It
what
would feel
the
good.
fuck, dude?
It
That
would feel
felt good.
It would feel
I was in the middle of a dream. What if I was in the middle of a sex dream and you sucked my nuts?
I would be
and
so
came?
mindful too.
Bro, that would be a real problem like, for the rest of my life.
Right.
Like, the hardest I ever came.
I wouldn't do it. There's
I
no
was
way.
sleeping.
Yeah,
I was
I would
having
never
a
do it.
sex dream. And
Yeah,
Bobby
yeah.
Lee was sucking my nuts. I don't
Yeah.
know why he was doing it. It was just for fun. He didn't know.
I've sucked nuts before, but like
I get it.
Yeah, but yeah, me and Santino will maybe talk about it.
Bobby also made an appearance at the Comedy Mothership while he was in town, coming out to a room full of excited fans. So it'll be interesting to see if Bad Friends moving to Austin has any legs or not. Let me know in the comments what you think about Bobby Lee potentially moving to Texas. Please consider subscribing to Joke World right now if you enjoyed this recap, and be sure to check out the end screen right after this to find more videos related to all your favorite comedians. Thanks for watching.
At Joke World. That's it, at Joke World.
And the world is WRLD.
That's a great YouTube channel, Joke World. Check it out.